Hello and welcome back to the deep dive. I want to start things off today with a scenario, and I really want you, the listener, to visualize this because I have a feeling it's going to hit a little too close to home for some of us.
All right, I'm ready. Set the scene for us.
Okay, so picture this. You've been learning English for years. I mean, maybe 3 years, 5 years, maybe since grade school. You've got the apps, you've got the textbooks on the shelf collecting dust, and if I gave you a written test right now,
Yeah.
you'd probably is it.
On paper, you're a superstar. You know the vocabulary, the rules.
Exactly. But then, okay, let's say I drop you into a busy cafe, London, New York, wherever. It's loud, music's playing, people are talking. You get to the counter, the barista looks at you and says, "What can I get for you today?" And just silence.
The freeze.
The freeze, that total brain fog, your palms get sweaty. You know the words, you know coffee, you know please, but the bridge between your brain and your mouth just, it collapses.
Yeah.
You stammer, maybe you point, and you just walk away feeling completely defeated.
It's that classic intermediate plateau. It is just this huge, frustrating gap between knowing a language, like conceptually.
Right, like a math problem.
Exactly. And actually using it. And honestly, that's where most people just give up.
It's heartbreaking, and that's the moment people internalize it, right? They think, "Oh, I'm just not good at languages," or, I'm too old for this, my brain isn't plastic anymore.
All of which, and this is why today's deep dive is so important, all of which are a lie.
A lie. That's a strong word.
It's a complete lie.
Mm-hmm.
The core premise of the material we're looking at today is that the problem isn't your brain. It's not your age. It's not your talent or lack of talent.
It's the method.
The problem is the method. You've been trying to tighten a screw with a hammer and then blaming yourself when it doesn't work.
And just getting exhausted in the process.
Precisely. So today is not about studying harder.
Yeah.
It's not about a more expensive textbook. We are going to walk through the habits of polyglots. The people who seem to learn languages in months, not years.
Yeah, and reading through this, I felt this just massive sense of relief. The whole vibe is, you can do this, you just need to change the strategy.
Exactly. It's about working smarter. The source lays out 5 secrets, but they're really 5 mindset shifts. And we should jump into the first one, because I'm warning you, this is going to make some school teachers very, very angry.
Oh, absolutely. Secret number 1, stop memorizing grammar rules.
It sounds like heresy, doesn't it?
It sounds illegal. I mean, isn't grammar the skeleton of the language? If I don't know the rules, how am I supposed to build a sentence?
That's the logical objection, and it makes sense. But let's think about it like the source does. Think about a native English speaker, or think about yourself speaking your own native language.
Okay.
When you're talking to a friend, are you mentally flipping through a textbook? Are you thinking, okay, I need to use the present perfect here?
No way. The words they just come out. If I had to think about that, the conversation would be over before I even started my sentence.
Exactly. Native speakers don't access language through conscious rules. They access it through feeling, through patterns. It's been internalized so deeply it feels like an instinct.
So the argument is that by obsessing over the rules first, we're actually, building a wall between ourselves and fluency?
You're creating a bottleneck. The source calls it paralysis by analysis. When you treat a conversation like a math equation, you're using the slow, analytical part of your brain. Speaking needs to be fast. It has to be fluid.
It's like learning to walk. You don't study the physics of gravity before you take your first step. You just sort of wobble around until you get it.
That's the perfect analogy. You learn by doing, by massive exposure. See, schools have it backwards. They teach you a rule, then ask you to apply it. Polyglots do the opposite. They get tons of input, and their brain just figures out the rule on its own.
Okay, so if we're not memorizing verb tables, what are we doing instead? I can't just stare at a wall and hope for the best.
No, and that's key. You have to replace it with something. The advice here is to shift your focus completely to listening, but specifically listening to natural conversations.
Natural is the key word there, right? Not the textbook stuff.
Huge distinction. We're not talking about that slow, robotic audio. Hello, how are you?
Right, nobody talks like that.
No, you need to listen to real people at real speeds, interrupting each other, using slang, like we're doing right now.
The messy stuff.
The messy stuff. The goal is to flood your brain with the sound and rhythm of the language. And eventually, you develop an intuition. You'll hear something and just think, that sounds wrong.
Not because you know the rule from page 42.
Just because it breaks the pattern. It's like a weird note in a song. You want to get to the point where you go to the store, it just feels wrong.
That's such a relief, honestly. It takes the pressure off. You just have to observe.
But, and this is a huge but, Listening is only half the battle. You could listen for years and still not be able to order that coffee.
Right, because listening is passive. Your mouth isn't actually doing any work.
Exactly. Which brings us to secret number 2. The source calls this one the golden key.
You're talking about shadowing.
Shadowing. It sounds a little mysterious, doesn't it?
A little bit, like something a spy would do. I'm shadowing the target.
It does, yeah. But it's probably the single most effective technique to bridge that gap between understanding and actually speaking.
So let's break it down. What exactly is it? Because it's more than just repeating words, right?
It's way more. It's like a training exercise.
Yeah.
So, step 1, you listen to a sentence from a native speaker.
Simple enough.
Step 2, you pause. Step 3, you repeat it. But, and this is the part everyone gets wrong, you don't just say the words, you repeat it exactly like the speaker.
Exactly. How exactly?
Like you become a parrot,
Yeah.
a very emotional, dramatic parrot. You have to copy 2 things, the speed and the emotion.
So if the speaker sounds angry and they're talking fast, I have to sound angry and talk fast. I have to actually act it out.
Yes. You mimic the entire performance. You're not just repeating words, you're acting.
Why is the emotion part so important?
Because language is physical. Speaking English uses muscles in your mouth and tongue that you might not use in your native language. The rhythm, the stress, it's all different.
Oh, that makes sense. I've heard people say their jaw actually gets tired after speaking English for a while.
It's a workout. If you just mumble the words, you're not training those muscles. When you copy the emotion, you force your mouth to make new shapes. You're building muscle memory.
It's like a guitarist learning a solo. They don't just read the notes, they play along with the record, trying to match every little detail.
Perfect comparison. You are playing along with the language, and this fixes your pronunciation without you ever having to study a rule about it.
You're just copying the sound. You trust your ears.
You copy the melody.
Okay, I can already hear the objection, though. This sounds great, but I have a job, I have kids, I don't have an hour a day to do this.
And this is the best part. You don't need an hour.
How long?
10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. The source is very clear about this. Consistency is so much more important than intensity. 10 minutes of focused shadowing every day is way better than cramming for 3 hours on a Sunday.
That is incredibly doable. Everyone has 10 minutes. While you're making coffee? On your commute?
Exactly. It's about building the habit. Do that for a few months, and your mouth will just know how to form the sounds. It's small, daily deposits.
So we stop obsessing over grammar. We start acting for 10 minutes a day. But then we hit the big one, the biggest excuse in the book.
I know which one you mean.
I can't learn because I don't live in an English-speaking country.
Ah, yes. The geography excuse.
It's a powerful one. If I just lived in London, I'd be fluent. But secret number 3 says that's not really true.
It's a total myth. I know people who've lived in the U.S. for 20 years and still struggle.
Yeah.
And I know people who've never left their hometown who speak beautifully.
So what's the secret then, if it's not geography?
Secret number 3 is change your environment.
But we just said we're not moving to London.
You don't move your body. You move your digital and physical world around you. You create an immersion bubble right where you are.
Ah, so you bring London to you.
Exactly. You make English unavoidable. And the source has some great little life hacks for this.
The first one they list is, well, it's terrifying but brilliant. Change your phone's language to English.
That's a bold move. That is the burn the ship strategy right there.
It is, because suddenly you're not studying, you're just trying to set your alarm clock, and you have to do it in English. It forces you to adapt.
It weaves the language into your life. It stops being a subject and becomes your phone's literal operating system.
And what about the YouTube hack? It's not just about watching any English video.
Right, it's about watching things you actually like. If you love cooking, watch Gordon Ramsay. If you love tech, watch tech reviews.
Why does that matter so much?
It's context and engagement. If you're watching a review for a phone you really want, your brain is hungry for that information. You're trying to understand the content, not just the language.
It stops being homework and starts being fun. You're hacking your own interests.
Right. But there's one more hack here that I think is the funniest, but maybe the most effective.
You're talking about the shower method.
The shower conversation.
The source literally says, talk to yourself in the shower in English.
It sounds a little crazy. Your family might get worried.
But think about why it's so brilliant.
It removes all the social pressure. Who's the hardest person to talk to? A stranger who might judge you. Who's the easiest? Yourself.
It's a safe space. No one's grading you or laughing at your accent.
And you get to practice formulating thoughts. You can just narrate your day, Okay, now I'm washing my hair. I have a meeting at 9.
Or have imaginary arguments you were going to have anyway. Might as well get some practice.
Exactly. It gets you used to the sound of your own voice speaking English. This normalizes it for your own brain.
So you're building this artificial immersion. Your phone, your entertainment, your own thoughts. You're basically living in a virtual London.
And that leads us right into the final and maybe the most important secret of all. Because you can do all this, but there's one thing that will kill your progress if you don't deal with it.
We're talking about secret number 4. Accept mistakes.
This is the big one. The psychological block. The fear.
It is huge. I think this is the real reason people just stay silent. They're so terrified of looking stupid.
It's perfectionism. And where does that come from?
School. Has to be.
100%.
Yeah.
In school, a mistake is a bad thing. It's a red mark on your paper. It's a lower grade. We've been conditioned to see mistakes as failure.
But the real world isn't a classroom.
No. And the source has this beautiful quote. It says, mistakes are proof that you are trying.
Mistakes are proof that you are trying. It's a powerful shift. It turns that red mark into a gold star.
It really does. If you're not making mistakes, you're staying in your comfort zone. You're only using the words you're 100% sure about.
Yeah.
And you can't learn there.
It's the difference between the person who's silent but gets a perfect score in a test and the person who goes out, messes up the grammar, uses the wrong word but actually communicates.
Who's the better English speaker? The one who got the pizza.
Right. Language is for connection, not for a test.
We need to embrace the messy phase. You just have to let it flow.
We need to normalize bad English because bad English is so much better than no English.
Absolutely. Every fluent speaker you admire started with bad English.
Yeah.
They sounded like a caveman for a while. Me go store now!
But they didn't let their ego stop them.
They just pushed through it.
So let's just quickly recap this roadmap because it's a real shift.
Okay, so first, drop the obsession with grammar. Stop analyzing. Start listening.
Then shadowing. That's the golden key. 10 minutes a day. Act it out. Train the muscles.
Then hack your environment, your phone, YouTube, talking to yourself. Make English a part of your world.
And finally, the big one. Conquer the fear. Accept mistakes. They're just stepping stones.
And the source wraps it all up with a really key idea. Fluency is a habit, not a destination.
I love that. It's not some finish line you cross and get a trophy. It's a lifestyle.
Right. It's like fitness. You don't just get in shape and then stop forever. You maintain it.
And the call to action is so clear. Don't wait for someday.
Don't wait until you feel ready, because you never will.
Start today. Do your 10 minutes of shadowing today.
It's about building that momentum. These secrets aren't magic. They're just habits that add up.
You know, thinking about all of this, it brings up a really interesting question for me about the idea of talent. We always hear, oh, I'm just not talented with languages.
It's a very common defense mechanism.
But if fluency is really just about these habits, shadowing, immersion, being okay with mistakes, then maybe talent doesn't really exist, not in the way we think anyway.
That's a provocative thought.
Yeah.
So what we call talent is actually just a willingness to look silly.
Yeah. Maybe the talented person is just the one who was willing to talk to themselves in the shower and make 1,000 mistakes without quitting.
It kind of removes the mystique, doesn't it? It puts all the power back in your hands. It means fluency isn't for some gifted few. It's for anyone willing to do the work.
So that's the question we want to leave you with. Are you waiting for talent to strike you like lightning? Or are you willing to do the 10 minutes a day? Are you willing to be imperfect?
The method is there. The secrets are out. The rest is up to you.
Thanks for diving in with us today. Now go make some mistakes.
See you next time.